Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to FTRL. F1 Div 1 is back for round 2 of season 16, and we are here at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. So a much different circuit and prospect ahead of the drivers tonight after the opening round on the tight, twisty confines of the Vietnamese circuit last time out. That yielded a very exciting race, and after a steward's inquiry resulted in Adamako, who drove superbly to take P2. Being promoted to his first win in FTRL, so he is the current championship leader. Coming into the second race here at the very different prospect is the Red Bull Ring. High speed, wide open circuit, not many corners to deal with here, so it is a flat out sprint for a good portion of the lap. And qualifying is underway then, so the earliest pace sitter is inevitably Mr. Dutch Tricks. He currently sits on the fastest lap on a 102.6. CR7 sitting just behind him on a 102.8, and Evil Chris on a 103 flat. So some solid early lap times in the box. We've also got a new driver joining us tonight at Ferrari. It is Funky Chicken 44, a new addition to the league. I'm very excited to see how he gets on. He's currently sat in P4, so a good opening run for him. Go on board then with Tico, who has invalidated this lap. Now, is he going to carry on, or is it just his out lap perhaps? Get the details up and see what everybody's on. So everybody going for the soft tyre. The Lynx has gone out on the medium tyre, but is currently sat outside the top 10. Now the Red Bull Ring is a circuit, well, a big risk of penalties around here, because taking a lot of liberties with the corners, trying to cut as much as you can do. End of sector 1 then Tico does a side laps and purple first sector from Tico, so he is throwing himself into the mix through the first sector at least. Heads down now towards turn 4, second of the DRS, in fact the third DRS zone of the circuit. Bit of a lock break there, but the downhill right hander is a very tricky corner, but rounds it nicely and around the kink that is turn 5, and throws it into the left hander that is turn 6, using all the curb on exit. And then into turn 7, they've got purple again through the middle section, so Tico is on a very quick opening run here. Just 2 corners to go. Using all the curb on entry. And 1 more corner to go. Can he hook it up? He does, and now it's just a sprint to the line. And he goes second fastest. So splits CR7 and Dutch on a 102.7. So a very good opening run there from Tico. Captain Chubbs, his teammate, out the final corner. Where does he go? After his first run, he goes into the top 10 in 10th position on 103.4. So a very closely matched qualifying session here. Very short lap here, so looking at 62 to 63 seconds for a number of the drivers at the moment. Those who've gone out on the soft tyre. CR7 pops himself onto provisional pole with a 102.5, so he jumps the 2 Dutch guys. And puts himself on provisional pole with just 10 minutes of qualifying left to go. So he now has struck. Is he going to be a factor tonight? Of course, the man who's come close on a couple of occasions to victories in FTRL, not quite worked out for him so far. Will today be the one? Well, we shall see. He had a bit of a race to forget in Vietnam, where he missed his braking point for one of the hairpins on lap 1 and speared into the side of Scuba. Scuba was very lucky not to retire on the spot, but it ruined both of their races. Scuba recovering to P6, I think it was in the end, P7 on track. Well, CMC unfortunately retired. So then after the first set of runs then, so CR7 currently on provisional pole position. Anybody on flying lap? AP's just gone over. With Lynx, and he is out on the soft tyre now. So CR7 then on provisional pole at the moment from Dutch Tricks, with Tico in P3. Funky Chicken still sat in P4. Evil Chris in P5 ahead of Adamako, championship leader. P6 Wesker in 7th. Oxfox in 8th, Sway 9th, and Scuba rounding off the top 10. Then you've got Chubbs, Tom Deval, Lennon, Graham, Lynx, who are on board with, and AP currently bringing up the rear. So Lynx then in the middle of sector 2 now. We'll get a split point here. He is 6/10 up on his current best. So looking on for a 2:03.4. This might just jump him into the top 10. But it is very close. A number of drivers. Oh, AP has retired. Was he gone off? Oh, he's gone off at the exit of turn 7, is that? Link sprints to the line and goes up to P7. So he had a good final sector there. They've had another 3/10 and he puts himself in P7. Of course, he ended up getting a podium last time out as a result of the stewards. However, I'm sure he will want to be doing it on track. P7 is a solid starting place for him. Go on board, and Scuba has put himself up to P4 with a 2.7. So we've got 3 drivers there in a 102.7s at the moment. Tico, Scuba and Funky Chicken, sorry. So those 3 covered by less than a tenth of a second. So it's very close. You've also got Evil Chris and Lynx. They're both on 2.030s and Oxox. So again, 3 drivers there covered by half a tenth of a second. So it is a very close session so far. Got CR7 on another outlap. Evil Chris is on a flying lap. Let's pick up the Alfa Romeo man in the middle part of the lap. Where is he as he comes around to sector 2? He is 0.025 up, so marginal improvement. I think it looked like he went a little bit wide there, but just the camera angle. See up his back in shot then, just 2 corners to go now. Again, using all the curb there to give himself the best angle to turn into the penultimate corner. Flings it into the final corner, using all the curb, and now he drives for the line. Does he improve? He does. He finds a tenth of a second into a 102.8. But does not improve his position, but he's now right on the back of the top 5. So a very solid qualifying so far from Evil Chris. He now sits in P6, but has put a couple of tenths between himself and Lynx. So who have we got then? So let's see if CR7 can improve. He's invalidated his lap already, and he was 3 tenths up, so not ideal for him. I go on board with Tico, who is, I believe, just going to start a lap. Looks like he's on his out lap. And here he goes into a flying lap with Tico then. Oh, can he improve? We'll go on board. Tico through turn 1. DRS zone straight away on the start of the lap. Now drives up the hill through, well, it's technically turn 2, although most of the drivers wouldn't class it as a corner, and then braking hard for turn 3. Picks this nicely. Now pushing up through the hill into the second DRS zone. Toward one of the trickiest corners on this, the downhill right-hander of turn 4, using all the curb to give himself the widest possible angle. That drives through 5 into turn 6. The left-hander. All looking good so far. He is 0.062 up. So he could be on to jump Dutch tricks here. He has to find a little bit more time if he wants to take provisional pole. 2 corners to go. Flings it into the penultimate corner. Plenty of curb there. Good line. Attacks the final corner as well. Now it's just a short sprint to the line. He goes provisional pole with a 102.4. So he did find some time in that final sector. Tico jumps to the head of the timesheet then with now just 5 minutes to go. The track's starting to rubber in. It will be at its premium.
Nice one.
On board with Lennon then. He's coming round to... He's invalidated this lap. And he dives into the pits. So not an improvement from Lennon. That one. Who is... Anybody on and out? We've got Dutch Tricks on and out lap. So he's about to start a lap. How will he fare this time then? See there, using all that run, all the a little bit of a wobble there through turn 1. I would have just lost him a little bit of time. And towards the end of sector 1, he is 0.016 down. That's how it can be found in the chat. We've got evening Casey Bernard, Lennon in the chats as well as on the track. A man of many talents and multitasking ability. He's probably drunk as well. Matt Man in the chat, good evening Matt. Wishing the boys good luck tonight. Evening Mikey as well. What is that beeping? I don't know what that beeping. Oh, it'll be Max. He's in the car on the way home. There he is. Yes, he's in the car on the way home in the party. Dutch Tricks then does a personal best and the fastest overall second sector. So he is... Stop beeping, you're on. Into the final corner. Dutch Tricks. Is he going to jump to the top of the timesheets? He doesn't know. He improves onto a 102.5, but comes up just shy of CR7's time. And Tico on the 102.4 remains at the head of the timesheets. Here we have then the newest member of FTRL again. He too there has a big wobble coming out of turn 1. Gets the back end a little bit of a snaky. Yeah, come on Max, these guys can do it. If they can do it, you can't be far off. Of course, Mr. Max Def here has done something in the region of 600 or 700 laps of this circuit recently, trying to get a 102 in time trial mode. So if anybody knows this track inside out, it's probably the man that will be back jumping on commentary when he gets home, Mr. Max Def.
933.
933 laps, my god. You're an animal, Max, you're an absolute animal. Aaron in the chat, hoping the F'ers behave themselves tonight. Don't we all, Aaron? Don't we all? So it looks like he has abandoned this lap then. That probably slide out of turn 1. Maybe just stifling his progress. CR7 out onto track. We've got Captain Chubbs on a lap. He's just started. We've also got Tom Duval who's in the middle sector. He has invalidated though. So we'll stay on board with Chubbs. Gran got the pressure on him. He's had a poor first sector. 1.5 down, so I think he's abandoning this lap.
Come on, Chubbs.
10 people in the chat, only 3 likes. Come on boys, sort your lives out. Please do like the stream, it helps us out lots and lots and lots. So who has started a lap? Graham is on a lap then, in the Renault. There's a heckling his stream earlier. I can't remember the game he was playing, but it looked quite epic. So hopefully his slaying of mythical beasts will help him tame the Red Bull Ring. Currently lining up P13, just ahead of his team at the 2 Renault boys, both are 103.4s, so very closely matched.
How long left in the quali?
There is 1 minute and 22 seconds, Max. Graham then coming around to the end of the lap. He's got...
Oh, fuck. Timing.
That's right, just swear on stream, Max, it's fine. Graham out of the final corner, might get a little bit of slipstream from Evil Chris there. Does he jump up from P13? He improves marginally, but not enough to jump him up positions. Let's go find the potential pole sisters. We've got CR7 on a lap, then he's just rounding turn 4. So we will get an idea of his second split in a moment. He flings it into turn 6. He is 12 thousandths up. He will need to find a little bit more. Now just 2 corners to go. Tom Duval has retired then, so he will be starting no better than 14th. Lennon's on an out lap, so he has the opportunity to jump him. CR7 into the final corner. Oh, has a big tank slapper. And that has ruined that lap, so he will start no higher than P2. Who else have we got on track then? We've got his teammate, Evil Chris, coming into the final sector. He's had a big moment and he's going to the wall. He's out. So Evil Chris has crashed on the exit of turn 7-8. That's put an end to his challenge for an improved position. Wesker, meanwhile, has jumped up to P6. Funky Chicken has retired from the session. Board with Adamako then, as he comes into the final couple of corners. Our current championship leader. 1 corner to go. Is he pushing hard? He keeps on the track, keeps pointing to the line. He improves by 0.03 of a second, but it's not enough to jump him up, so he will be starting at best P9. Who have we got for on the track? We've got Scuba in the middle sector. He is 0.077 up. So I'll need to find a bit of time, otherwise he'll be starting P4. What can he find in the final sector? 2 corners to go. Lynx has not improved. He'll be starting P11, so he'll get a free tyre choice. Oh, Scuba's very wide at the final corner, and that has invalidated his lap. Where's Dutch Tricks coming around? He's into the final corner. Oh, he too looks a bit wide. He invalidates as well. So these drivers pushing hard on the final lap. They are invalidating, and he'll be the last flying lap. CR7 cruising into the pits. So Tico takes pole position at the Red Bull Ring. He will line up on the front row alongside CR7 with Dutch Tricks and Scuba tucked in behind. So no, definitely committed their drivers, throwing it off the track at the end there in a desperate bid to try and improve on that final run. Sensor CR7 will line up on the front row alongside Tico. Session is over. And there we have it then. Tico is pole sitter for round 2 at the Red Bull Ring. He lines up alongside CR7, less than a tenth, covering the top 3. Then with Dutch Tricks in 3rd on a 102.5. Scuba lines up 4th, just 2 thousandths ahead of Funky Chicken in the Ferrari on debut, with Wesker in P6 just behind as well. Then you've got Evil Chris in 7th, Sway in 8th, Adamako 9th, and Oxhox in P10. Top 10 covered by just over half a second. And then the cars with the free tyre choice. Link starts P11 with Lennon in P12, Chubbs in 13th, Graham in 14th, Tom Deval in 15th, and AP, who crashed after his first run, he will be starting in P16. So we had a dry qualifying. Do we have a dry race is the next question. We do indeed. Sun is shining. We have...
Lucky people. Oh, I'm driving in the garage. That's going to be very tight.
So the drivers then waiting to go through. And here we go then. So the formation lap begins. Tico leading off. The AlphaTauri man takes his first pole position of season 16. With a very quick lap, the only man in the 102.4s. He heads CR7 in the Alfa Romeo. Another great qualifying from him. Can he finally live up to that hype? He's promised it. He's threatened it a couple of times. A strong result. They've just got away from him at the death. Will this be the one then? He lines up also on the front row alongside Tico. Let's get the detail up and see who, if anybody, is going for something different tyre-wise. 3rd is Dutch Tricks. He finished 1st on the road last time out. He has a point to prove this week as he makes his claim for the season 16 crown. He lines up heading off the 2nd row. In 4th is the reigning champ Scuba in the Red Bull. A little bit of time to find 2 to 3 ahead of him, but he is very much in the mix for this one. And then on debut, Funky Chicken 44 in the Ferrari. What can he do then? He's set a high standard in qualifying, starting P5. What can he do from the 3rd row? He lines up alongside the Racing Point of Wesker. Of P6, he had a disappointing race last time out in Vietnam. He'll be hoping for a stronger showing this time around. Evil Chris P7. Again, a very strong showing from him last time out. He'll be looking to continue his good form. He goes off P7, sharing the 4th row with Sway in the Williams. And then we find our championship leader Adamako in P9 and Oxhox in the McLaren in P10. Then of the guys who've got the free tyre choice, Lynx in the Racing Point is on the medium tyres. Lennon is starting on the soft. Captain Chubbs is starting on the hard tyre. The 2nd of the AlphaTauris. Both the Renaults, Graham and Tom, who start 14th and 15th, are starting on the mediums. And AP at the back is going aggressive. He is on the softs for the start. So all the drivers then on to the grid. Some predictions in. I'm going to put my money on Tico for this one. I think he did win it in season 14, but he got denied by penalties. So I think he's got a point to prove. And I think Dutch and Scuba will join him on the podium.
I'm so close of home.
Here we go then, 5 lights out and away we go. Everybody seems to get a good start. McLaren pops out of the background. Good start from Oxhox. Dutch challenging CR7 as they round turn 1. Everybody getting around okay, it looks like it. Oxhox has a good start. He's up to P8 already in the McLaren. The drive then up towards turn 2. Dutch has got ahead of CR7 on the run up the hill. CR7 tries to attack around the outside. So everybody all try to go 3 wide around turn 3. That might not work. They all get away with it. A little bit of contact. One of the Williams there. I think it was Sway. They all seem to get through. And meanwhile, Funky Chicken's had a poor run. And Oxox is down the inside and up to P7's. Oxox flying on this opening lap. Got the Williams trying to look up the inside of the Ferrari now. Oh, in the background, off. That's Lennon and Lynx, was it? They got tangled up. It's turn 4. Lynx in the gravel. And he dropped all the way down to P16. So not a great start for him. He's got it all to do now. As they come around to complete lap 1. And Tico is off and running. He has a 0.6 of a second lead as they come around to complete lap 1. Everybody in the background there, a poor final quarter. Was that Evil Chris? It was CR7. I'm not sure what's going on. The timing thing's doing its usual trick in the background. AP up the inside of the Renault. He is up now to, is he P8? Not P6. He'll sort himself out in a second. Kill. He is up to P12 then too. Renault's going side by side into turn 3. Down the inside goes Tom Duval. Gives his teammate room on exit. Gets the move done. Lennon now trying to buy into that as well after that contact he had on the opening lap with Lynx. But it is as you were. Tico leads, Dutch second, CR7 in third, Scuba fourth, Wesker is fifth, Evil Chris is sixth, Oxox seventh, Funky Chicken down to 8. Poor start from him, he's down 3. AP, the big mover, up 4. Everybody still very much in touch. Lennon now all over the back of Graham. No, everybody seems to have got around the first couple of laps okay. Tico then leads across the line. Fastest lap of the race so far, 106.3 at the end of the second lap. Coming up of 7 now then. Lap 3 means the DRS is now active. Is everybody very, very close to each other. I don't think anybody's close enough for a move though. A little bit further back. That looked like Chubb's defending from AP. Renault still nose to tail. Lynx is also caught onto the back of the train here with Lennon. He's in DRS range. So everybody in DRS range of each other. Which means this is now going to be a very, very interesting tactical battle. On to lap 3 we go, coming out of the middle section, the twisty part, if you will. To the bumps up corner we come, flinging it through. We complete lap 3, Tico continues to lead. Tricks. Got CR7 quite close behind him, he set the fastest lap there, CR7, so CR7 moving on to the back of Dutch Tricks then. Big groups after getting done off the start. Now Dutch Tricks using the slipstream there, pulls right onto the back of Tico in the braking zone for turn 3. So Tico's lead, which was 0.8 of a second, as they cross the line, almost halved. So yeah, everybody in DRS range, look at that, the biggest gap is, the biggest gap's between Adamako and AP, so AP has passed Chubbs, but with that they have lost the slipstream to the cars ahead. So AP has made some good moves, he's now up 5, from 16th up to 11th. So those soft tyres working because Adamako, of course, Chubb started on the hard tyre, so he's going very different to everybody else. Now can AP do anything about closing that gap down? Ahead of them, the biggest gap's about 0.6 of a second between any of the drivers, so you've got first all the way down to 10th, all in a train. Funky Chicken looks like he's regrouped, and now looking at the back of Oxox, but the DRS train is just keeping everybody fairly equally spread out at the moment, so it's tricky for anybody to make a pass. And the man who should be burning most of his ERS is Tico, but Tico doing a very good job so far. He's got the same ERS as a lot of the guys around him. In fact, CR7 in third has got 100% ERS at the moment, so he's content to just sit in. Everybody just pulling each other around. Lennon goes past Tom Duval, or does he? Oh, that was AP. He's had a moment coming out of turn 3, and he's undone all his hard work. He's gone down from 11th all the way down to P16. Oh, Lennon back down the inside of Tom Duval at 4, gets it done. So Lennon passes both Renaults. on the soft tyre. Tom looks back up the inside, then into 6. Not quite close enough. Now what can Lennon do about Chubbs on those hard tyres? Who just picks up the first penalty. Yeah, first penalty of the race goes to Captain Chubbs. That gap now between him and the top 10 is 3.2 seconds, so he is the cork in this little bottle. Drivers behind him, because this was Lennon, Tom Duval, Graham Links, and AP, who's just had a half spin at turn 3 and just dropped all the way back to this little train. So having passed them all once, he's got to pass them all again. At the front. Yeah, at the front it's still as you were, very much so. Lennon goes past Chubbs, up to P11 then, so can Lennon now try and bridge that gap. Tico continues to lead from Dutch, CR7, Scuba, Wesker, Evil Chris, Ox, Funky Chicken, Sway and Adamako. Meanwhile, Chubbs and Lennon go back at Chubbs, runs out wide at 4. Lennon gets back and here comes Tom Duval. Meanwhile, Links in the background goes past Graham. So fresh off the back of his first podium. Links has had a bit of a rough and ready opening lap. He's got a little bit of work to do now, but on the medium tyres, the race could yet come back to him. Graham not finished with him though. Here we go again then. Lennon leading this little pack. Anybody close to Tom Duval pops out, looks at the inside of Chubbs into 1. Not quite close enough though. Chubbs went a little bit wide there. March had a slightly worse exit, but DRS opens. That's not going to make it very difficult for Tom Links, Graham and AP to make a move. All close up into braking, but nobody gets a move done. Yep, so a lot of drivers. Oh, Tom Duval looks at the inside. Captain Chubbs, not close enough though, just drops back in again. Chubbs taking the pain early on those hard tyres. Likely he'll be doing a 1-stopper. Oh, we've got yellow flag. It is. Oh, Sway's gone round. We didn't see why. He's now going to rejoin in the middle of this pack. Oh, Lennon has to take avoiding action as Sway gets going. Just gets away with it. Sway drops in behind him. So we're down to 9 in the battle for the lead. So was there contact with Sway? Sway was running between Funky Chicken and Adamako, I believe. So whether or not there was contact with Adamako, I do not know. He has a look at Lennon into turn 1, not quite close enough.
Going to be a fairly easy pass for Sway.
Yeah, Sway gets the move done, using the DRS. Lennon, however, cuts back underneath him on exit. Now it's going to be a drag race down to turn 4. Lennon will have the DRS this time. Tom Duval also looking racy behind on the back of Chubbs. Is he going to get moved on this time? Chubbs gives him room, but then just runs around the outside. Tom has a little bit of a wiggle as he tries to get the car turned without making contact, and Chubbs retains the place. Great driving from those two. At the front it's still as you were. However, Adamako has now just about, and maybe just got back into DRS range. So he's the one on the cusp of dropping off the train at the moment. Now the only person that's at risk in this front group is Evil Chris, because everybody else is only one of their cars from each team in this train. So they could all technically pit at the same time, and they'd be okay. Obviously Evil Chris's teammate CR7 is in P3. So if there was a safety car, he might lose out, should they decide to pit. But obviously we're not there yet. Hopefully we won't have safety cars, and we'll just get to enjoy this epic train going on at the moment. A lock up there from Scuba or Wesker into turn 4. No harm done though. And it's still very much as you were. Meanwhile, let's have a look at this pack behind. Sway, having cleared Lennon, has not dropped him. Gap ahead to Adamako is 5.3 at the moment. So what can he do? Can he bring this train back into contention? Or is he now waiting to pick up some... Oh, Lennon there has a big twitch off the curb. Sweeps out very wide. Gathers it up though, but that has let Sway just pull away a little bit. Oh, that's still in DRS range. So Links also picks up a penalty. So two of the drivers in this pack here have time penalties to their name. You on to lap 10. Oh, sway very wide there at 1. To use all the runoff. Tom Duval now under threat from Lynx. As they come up the hill, Lynx is going to pull to the inside. Down the inside he goes. Gets the move done. Good move from Lynx. He is now up to P13. Tom now will try and come back at him. Although he's had a poor run out of the corner. So Lynx is safe. However, a bit of a gap has opened up between Lynx and Chubbs, who is catching onto the back of Lennon and Sway, who are just squabbling a little bit. Lennon still tucks in behind. Everything seems to have settled down, so we'll go have a look at the pack at the front. So Adamaco has caught back onto the train. Yep, still got a 9-car train for the lead. As we on to lap 11 of 36. Good evening, Dan. I am very well, thank you very much. It is Tuesday, the sun's been shining. I've had a semi-productive day at work, and now I get to watch some FTRL action. Good times. Oh, another penalty for Chubbs. Meanwhile, those hard tyres just not giving him the grip to attack the corners, and Tom Duval and Lynx have both mugged him. So he's down now to 14th, in between the Renaults. Casey Bernard calling Lennon Scuba for the win. Interestingly, so Scuba currently sat in P4. However, he has just slipped out of DRS range. However, he's back in again now, but that gap between himself and CR7 has just opened up a little bit. It's the biggest gap in this train, a minute 9/10 of a second, so he's at risk of losing that. And if he does lose the DRS, he might be coming under threat from Wesker and Evil Chris behind him. However, he's still got the DRS for the moment, so I'm sure if anybody can get back into range and sit in this train, it is the Reading chap. Oh, CR7 there has a bit of a moment coming out of 1. That'll bring Scuba back into play. You can see there, making up a couple of tenths. He's now just stretching that gap back to Wesker as well. As Lennon now picks up a penalty. Go back to this second little train we've got. So we've got a 9-car battle for first, and then a 7-car battle for the last. AP getting the move done on Graham again. So AP has started his comeback part 2. And he gets past the first of the Renaults. What can he do about Chubbs ahead of him? Oh, Evil Chris now picks up a penalty. So penalties now starting to come through. Again, it's very easy to pick them up here. You're attacking the curbs and the corners. There's a lot of runoff here you want to use, maybe not allowed. I was just seeing a number of penalties just starting to be picked up now. So 4 drivers have 1 penalty, although Chubbs has 2.
Wesker at risk of being out there.
So Wesker has slipped out of DRS range again, although he seems to be safe at the minute. He's got himself in a bit of a gap here. He's got about a second back to Chris as well, so he's now got Ox Hawks looking at him. Ox had a solid run so far, had a great start, up 3 already. Yeah, Chris has picked up the slipstream again and DRS, so that should leave him safe from attack for the time being.
Barrow should be coming in soon. I'm thinking about
doing so. Oh, what's happened to Lennon? Lennon's dropped a couple of places. Lost 3, he's about to lose another one to Chubbs here, is he? Chubbs going round the outside, there's contact, and Lennon spins. AP misses him by the smallest of margins. It's into the pits coming your race leaders. Tico Dutch, CR7. Oh, spin! CR7's in the wall!
No!
Out of the final corner. There's a yellow flag, but no safety car. He's going again, but I'm not quite sure what happened there. But CR7 span out the final corner and has hit the pit wall and damaged his front wing. No safety car though. He carries on, but his great qualifying strong race start, and once again he's come undone. He just caught the end of his accident. He'll now be pitting this lap, so all that's with the top 2 pitting. Evil Chris pitted as well. Lennon currently in the pits as well. He's just making his way back out onto track now. Wesker picks up a balance as Scuba now leads the race. And this has kind of just splintered this top group a little bit. Lynx going past CR7, the wounded Alfa Romeo trying to get back to the pits. Lennon doesn't seem very happy with what happened there. He seemed to make a mistake somewhere, possibly at turn 4. Let a couple of cars past and trying to hold on the inside as Chubbs goes around the outside, and just a little bit of contact. And unfortunately, when there's contact, the car on the inside is usually the unfortunate one that goes around. Once again, that was proved in that accident. But a long way to go. Anything can happen. So Scuba has now pitted, as has Wesker, Oxox, Funky Chicken, Adamako, Sway, CR7 in the pits. And then coming round, he should jump CR7. And that puts Lynx into the lead of the race. And so, having been last at the end of lap 1, he's now first on lap 15. Now, everybody who's pitted has gone on to the medium tyres. So, Tico, who was the race leader, is now P6. You've got Dutch P7. Evil Chris has jumped Scuba, so the undercut has worked out quite nicely for him. Dan saying Scuba to win, expecting the undercut, but it came from the two Dutch guys first. But will the mediums get to the end? That is the question. That is the question. Into the pits comes AP. So he equal started on fresh soft tyres. All the other guys had theirs from qualifying. So Tico sets the fastest lap in the world. Chubbs now attacking Tom Duval with the DRS, so those hard tyres now starting to come into their own. So the grip for the mediums start to wear off. And
they are asking in the chat, the mediums will get to the end because they're bound to be destroyed.
Potentially, yeah. I think the in-game strategy guide did say that it was a possibility for a two-stopper.
Yeah.
So we shall see. Obviously Lynx is starting on the mediums. If he can go onto the hards, he won't have to do another pit stop, but you would imagine those who are moving on to the mediums now would go onto the softs at the end, so they would be very quick. So different strategies starting to play out. But Lynx still continues to lead.
What up to Martinos in the chat?
Evening Mats, I have seen your message and I will reply in due course, but the answer is yes, there is. And around the first corner goes your race leaders. Top 3, 4 altogether. So Tico then, having pitted, is now on the back of these 3. He has managed to break the slipstream, however, of the DRS to Dutch Tricks, who is now 1.3 seconds back in 5th. You've got Graham, who has got Scuba, who's just gone past Evil Chris, so Scuba back up into what will be a net P3. Chris, however, right on the back of him again, so it's not necessarily over. Oh, lock up there from Scuba. Chris coming in hot, me on the background. Wesker and Oxox going at it. Now that is Oxox getting the position. So Oxox has jumped Wesker, so Oxox continues to make very good progress.
Yeah, Tico making a move on Tom Duval.
So Tico back onto the podium outright. Oh, he went a little bit wide there, so he needs to keep an eye on that. Well, that might have been Chubbs actually. His teammate just ahead of him. That was turn 1. Tico fakes to the inside, but we'll wait for the run up the hill there. Oh, Chubbs a little bit wide there. Tico's got such a good run, and that will be an easy overtake. Tico up to P2. Starting now to chase down the race leader. Your Scuba goes past Graham in the braking zone for turn 3, up to P6. Evil Chris trying to follow. Not enough room though, and that has compromised his exit, and now Oxox is right on the back of him. McLaren man looking for another overpass, but the Renault could come into a factor here. Oxox is going to get boxed in. As Evil Chris goes down the inside of Graham. Oh, a little bit of contact. Oxox going to follow him through. Graham on those old medium tyres. Oxox now looks to the inside for 6. Chris has to give him a little bit of room, but manages to hold on for now. Oxox looking very racy. Dutch Tricks then up to P4. Goes past Tom Duval. As Tico meanwhile has retaken the lead of the race. However, I want to keep an eye on this battle between Oxox and Evil Chris, because Oxox looking very, very racy. Evil Chris a little bit wide at the final corner, had a little bit of a twitch. I think he's got enough of a gap at the moment, and he's also now got the slipstream from Scuba still. That should see him safe, so he's fended off the advances of Oxox for now. So Oxox will regroup in the background. Funky Chicken on Graham. They go up the hill. So he has also cleared the guys who have not yet pitted. And then we are on our 1-2. Tika and Dutch are back where they were prior to the pit stop. Scuba, who was the net P3, down in P6. He's still got these 3 cars to try and catch and clear. CR7 going past Lennon, meanwhile for P15. Once again, so unlucky for him there. He was on for another good, potentially good result, and he's just got away from him. Didn't see what happened, just caught the end of his accident as he span out the final corner, possibly just ran a little bit wide, unsettled over the curbs, and pitched him into the pit wall. Chubbs there picks up another penalty. I think that's 3 for him now. He's racking them up. Going on in the pack. We've got this nice little train here of Scuba, Chris, Oxox, Wesker and Funky Chicken. 5-car train there. CR7 picks up a penalty. He's pushing. So the field has now spread out after the pit stops. We're on lap 20 of 36. But the race leader is pole sitter. Tico leading the way. He's got a 1.3 second gap then, so he's not under DRS threat from Dutch Tricks. Link's still hanging on to third. You've got Link, Chubbs and Tom DeVal, of course, who have started on either the medium or the hard tyres, so they have not yet pitted. Oh, Chubbs is wide. Kicks up the gravel. Oh, he's wide again. That's going to give Tom DeVal a run. Uses his ERS to pull away, and now Scuba is on the back of these guys. Tom picks up a penalty there, just cutting a little bit coarse into the pits comes Tom DeVal and Lynx, so race leader, or former race leader in. They're getting off those tyres. Now what are they going on to? Are they going to go on to the softs? 15 laps to go, they'll probably be able to get there at the end. Let's have a look, they do indeed, so they're going on to the softs.
They're going to push it till the end.
The race lead still 1.3. Chubbs has now got this little train rocking up behind him. Scuba, Chris, Oxox, Wesker and Funky Chicken. Scuba then to the outside. Evil Chris looks up the inside. Chubbs is getting it from both sides. Oh, Chris comes in very hot. Bit of contact there. Don't think anybody got any damage or okay. Oxox is trying to go around the outside. Leaves room. It's good driving, yeah. Oxox gets the move done. Wesker now has to drop in behind. Couple of forceful moves there. Chubbs getting bullied. Is he going to the pits? He's staying tight to the inside. Is he going to get off those hard tyres? He does indeed. So into the pits comes Chubbs. He'll be the last one to make a pit stop. That releases this train. Set about it again then. So Scuba now back up to P3. Meanwhile Dutch Tricks has got into DRS range of Tico. Gap now 9/10 of a second. Tico trying to stretch it out down the straight, but Dutch has DRS, so he's starting to close back in again. So this battle, it might be a little bit of a lull at the moment, but well, I can tell you for sure Tico will definitely want to put one over on Dutch while he's got the advantage in the championship. Dutch has got some work to do. After losing his race win last time out, he's going to be very keen to set about his title challenge proper. Scuba now sat in a very distant third place. The top two have broken away, and he's still got this 4-car train behind him. Chris, Oxox, Wesker and Funky Chicken doing very well on debut, and a bit of a tardy start, lost some places, but it's still very much in the mix. On this little DRS train we've got, he's had a bit of a wobble there though, out of the final corner. Adamako now in a very lonely P8, the championship leader. Sway has recovered to P9. But he's been caught by Lynx on those fresh soft tyres. It does beg the question then. As Dan raised in the chat, are those medium tyres going to get to the end? Because I spoke to Chris and Scuba changing places, so Chris made an attack on Scuba. He's now going for it again. Scuba's having to go defensive on the run down to 4. Chris looking to the outside. Drive around the outside. Scuba will just run him to the edge. Noxox will probably fancy a bit of this, but now Evo Chris looking very racy. Another one who's been on the cusp of getting a podium in FTRL, hasn't quite come for him yet. Could this be the one? Scuba there just has a good run though through the middle part of the lap there, just opens that gap up a little bit, but he of course has no DRS. I believe behind him, although Chris does have a penalty, so he looks into the inside of turn 1. There's not really an overtaking opportunity to turn 1. It's a little bit tight. However, he is still glued to the back of the McLaren. McLaren, however, right on the back of that Alfa Romeo. These three now very, very close. Scuba's opened just a little bit of a gap. We've got a yellow flag. Chubbs has retired in the pit lane, unfortunately. So, unfortunately, Chubbs' race has come to an end. Here comes Oxox to the outside on the run out to 4. Has he got the move done? He has. Cuts across the nose. Wesker trying to buy into this. Chris has had a little bit of a compromised exit. Wesker can't find a way through though.
Yes.
So great move from Oxox. He's been very racy today. Some very good moves he's put on the guys around him. And now he sets about chasing it down Scuba. So can he get himself onto the podium? He's looking very racy though. However, Scuba has just got that gap over a second, so there'll be no DRS for the McLaren this time around. Will that leave him vulnerable? Or can he get that gap down before the detection point for the next DRS round? Let's have a look. He does, yes, he's back in DRS range of Scuba. That will that will help him in his defence.
Just hope his DRS on just before the end.
Yep, just got in it. He's taken us down to 20% ERS though. So he's burnt some. Scuba, well, 14, so Scuba's having to burn his as well. Obviously he's not got DRS, so he's having to push hard. Lock tyre into 4. Front 2, nose to tail now, so Dutch Trickster within half a second of Tico. At the moment still 11 laps to go, so he doesn't need to force a move just yet. Plenty of time to get that done. This is the big battle of Scuba again though, he's just opened that gap up. Chris, having been on the attack a lap ago, finds himself out down a position. A bit further back, we've got a very lonely Adamako, P8. He's 3.5 seconds off the back of that train, and he's got Lynx behind him, who is pushing to close down on those soft tyres. Up to P9, Sway rounds off the top 10, but he's got Tom Duval, who's also on fresh soft tyres, trying to close him down. In 11th, AP. In the second of the Red Bulls, P12. He's got the recovering CR7 behind him. And a bit of a gap back to Graham, who's also now on the softs. Who has just cleared Lennon, who is on slightly old medium tyres. So let's have a look at the gap then between Lynx, who's on the softs, and the front runners, just to see at this what the gap is. So it's 18 seconds. So if they do need to pit, then Lynx potentially could be on for a win here. 18 seconds off the lead, but obviously the tyre situation we'll just have to keep an eye on. These two, I think I spoke to Dutch after Vietnam, he said his tyres were on something like 80% wear. So, oh, Scuba picks up a penalty.
Ooh, that changes everything for Oxox. Possibly being net P3.
Scuba now, you can see Oxox has closed right in again. Here comes the DRS. Scuba's not going to fight it too hard. He's not using his ERS to defend. Oxox down the inside and moved on into turn 3. Oh, really parked on the apex there. That brought Evil Chris right into contention. However, now Scuba will have the DRS on Oxox. So will he use this? In fact, he didn't get it, strangely enough, or he hasn't used it, as I could see. This 5-car train still very much together. I think Lynx has maybe had a moment. No, he's still closing down on a. That gap was 7 seconds, wasn't it? Tom Duval has jumped Sway for P10. front two, meanwhile, still just 0.6 of a second apart. Dutch Tricks just chasing around his compatriot, but Tico doing a very good job of managing his ERS. At the moment, he's at 90%. Dutch is only at 70. Tico just playing the game at the moment. Need to be pushing too hard. Ox now without the DRS. Is he going to be vulnerable to Scuba? Up to 3. So he got the move done a lap ago. Scuba doesn't look for a move this time. Does he look for it into 4? He's had a bit of a poor exit. And Evil Chris is now on the back of Scuba. He's had a very good run out of 3. So Chris now fancying a move. Scuba's gone defensive. Got a terrible camera angle. Scuba just parks in the middle of the track though. Continues to fend off the Alfa Romeo. Wesker still tucked in behind. Waiting for his opportunity, and Funky Chicken as well. Right on the back of these guys. Just watching, learning, waiting for his opportunity. Adamako in a very lonely P8 still. However, he does have Link chasing him down. Gap now down to 5.3 seconds. Tom Duval 3 seconds behind him. Still got Sway in tow. CR7 has passed AP, so he's back up to P12. AP still in his slipstream. And great. Oh, Evil Chris picked up another penalty. He's trying to find a way past Scuba. Scuba's again had to go defensive into 3. Chris trying to cut back. Scuba does a very good job of placing his car. Oh, Chris has had a big wobble coming out of turn 3. Swept to the inside. So that gives Scuba a respite on the braking zone for turn 4. Wesker wasn't close enough to capitalise. I think he may have even had a moment of his own. Catherine in there with a nice Ox train while he's trying to make a break. Up to 0.6 of a second.
Get him, miss. Yep. You think you're going to get it for something?
I don't think so. No, I think they're going to try and get to the end.
Later.
I think if they were going to come in, they'd been out, and I think there wasn't the gap either. I think Lynx would have absolutely jumped them by miles, even though his tyres will obviously be falling off. Oh, change for the lead. Dutch has made the move on lap 30, so he's decided to pull the trigger. And for the first time in this race, Dutch Tricks leads the Grand Prix. So now what does Tico have in response? Tico's got nearly full ERS. Dutch is only at about half, so he's got plenty of electrical energy to fight with. Where does he deploy it? Oh, Wesker up the inside of Evil Chris, coming out of 4, and that's moved done. Wesker up to P5. So Wesker has found his opportunity. Chris with a couple of penalties, so he would have jumped him anyway. Behind them, Funky Chicken, who has no penalties, so he could potentially jump all the way up to P4 if he can stay close enough and keep himself clean. So just 4 drivers without penalties at the moment. 5 drivers, sorry, tell a lie. Top 3, Dutch, Tico and Ox. Funky Chicken and Graham in 14, so yeah, Funky Chicken could be on for P4 here if he can stay close enough. Tico goes back to the lead on the run to 3, so these oh, there we go. So we've given him the commentary curse. Scuba goes back past Ox into 3rd. We've gone a little bit deep though on exit 3. Ox had a look up the inside.
Ox still net P3 so far.
Yeah, so he doesn't have a penalty, so while he's clean, he doesn't need to force the issue with Scuba. However, I imagine he'll have at least a warning. If he's got 2, obviously he's going to be a little bit on edge. You can look for a max, that would be much appreciated. And now Scuba, meanwhile, has got his foot down, open that up to 7/10. So he's not under immediate threat this time. However, there will still be DRS. Oh. Is he on 2 warnings? Is he on 2 warnings? He's on 2 warnings, so he is. Well, he's on a knife edge, so he'll obviously want to stay close. Now, Funky Chicken is starting to get interested in Evil Chris here. Not quite 1,000, Oscar. I think he's at 938 laps, did you say it was, Max?
933.
933, so he's 67 laps shy of 1,000.
Oscar, no pressure, yes. I'd be happy already at the same time I had the time trial.
I'll definitely put you in contention tomorrow then. So up front it's still as you were. Tico still leads. 0.6 per second ahead of Dutch Tricks. Those two are 5.8 seconds clear. Scuba has got his foot down. Let's open that gap up to over a second, so he is out of DRS range of Ox. He in turn has just put a bit of time into Wesker, and he's now also got a second to Evil Chris. So these five are now just starting to string out a little bit now, so you get to the business end of the race. Ox is pushing, trying to get back into DRS range. In fact, he has got DRS. Burnt ERS, and Funky Chicken makes his move, and Funky Chicken up to P6. So he's bided his time at the back of this pack. I keep on saying Funky Pigeon, which is obviously the company that makes custom cards. That's all I can think of. Dear. Do about this. Right, Tom Duval and Sway are nose to tail still. So Tom Duval on 11 lap old soft tyres. They're probably past their best a little bit now, but Sway on 17 lap old mediums, probably not a lot better if I'm honest. The battle for P10 is not over, and they've got CR7 not a million miles away. He's trying to get back on terms.
Guys doing lap 34.
Yep, so your front two onto lap 34. Dutch's again has just closed that gap up. Oh, big snap from Dutch Tricks into turn one. Gathers it up though. That was almost. That was, I was going to say, he only lost a couple of tenths and all that. So Dutch Tricks are having a big snap as he got on the power out of one. Just about caught it though. Ox is pushing to get back on. Evil Chris goes back past Funky Chicken. Funky Chicken, however, tries to switch back. Now a drag race down the next straight. Funky Chicken has got the DRS. Evil Chris, I think, has had a good enough run, although he's going to go down the inside. Is he going to run wide on exit though? Chris is going to come back at him. Ooh, bit of contact there mid-corner. Funky Chicken has the inside. Evil Chris trying to hang on around the outside. Gets the move done again, so the Ferrari retains the place. Oh, and Chris picks up another penalty as well. So Funky Chicken doesn't need to battle Chris too hard, because he will jump him on penalties. Ox has closed back in on Scuba. We are now onto the penultimate lap of the race. Now, is Dutch Tricks going to wait until the final lap to make his move?
Is he going to do it?
He's not close enough this time. Yeah, Tico had a little bit of wobble. Ox has gone for P3. He's up the inside. He's run wide though. Scuba's going to get a better exit. They're going to go side by side. Scuba's got the DRS. Ox has got the drive off the corner though. But he's got very little DRS to fight with. He's down to 6%. Is Scuba up the inside? He is. Ox runs around the outside though. He doesn't need to be battling though. He's not got a penalty. Scuba trying to go all the way around the outside of 6. It's going to compromise Ox's line. Still side by side as they come out of 7. Oh, it's wide. Scuba's out the curbs. And that is move done. Ox there, resolute defence, and he's got P3.
And we're going to the last lap for the leaders.
So let's have a look at this lead battle then. Dutch Tricks half a second back. He had a big moment last time around. A bit neat and tidy this time around. Here we go then. This is his first chance. He'll close in. He's probably not close enough this time. He just drops back in, but he's got another DRS zone straight away, so if he can get a good launch out the corner. But Tico has just pulled that gap out again. Scuba's gone for P3 around the outside. Ox just shows him to the outside again, and now Ox has got the DRS. So Scuba must have been ahead at the detection point. Dutch Tricks did not get the move done into 4. Was that his last chance? There was a move as Sway goes back into the top 10. He's gone past Tom Duval again. Oh, Adamako's gone past Evil Chris. What's happened to Chris? Oh, Chris is wide. Does Chris have a problem?
Second last turn for Tico.
I think Chris has got a puncher. He has. Chris has got a front right puncher. On the final lap, out of the final corner. Tico's going to win this one. He takes the victory from Dutch. Ox is going to come home P3. Great drive from him. Scuba will finish in P4. Wesker comes home P5. Funky Chicken P6. Adamako is going to come home P7. Lynx comes home P8. Evil Chris with his puncher gets home for P9. Tom Deval is 10th but jumps Chris. After CR7 who goes up to 9th. Oh, Evil Chris is so unlucky. He got a front right puncher on the last lap. So that's how close the tyres were. He pitted on the same lap as the front two. So they must have been very, very close for tyre wear. Yeah. Yeah, a very solid drive from him. Let's have a look where he started. He started in P5, so down a position overall, but still a very respectable effort there. P6 on debut. Yeah, they certainly are. These two are forever running around nose to tail. They are very, very quick boys. Of course, at the start of season 14 they had Scuba to battle with. Scuba this time though didn't quite manage to hold pace with them. Tico then takes his first win of season 16 after taking P2 last time out.
Congratulations to Tico, really nice.
Dutch then with a P2 and Ox with his first podium since returning to FTRL. And no penalties for the top three then, so Dutch Tricks second, Tico is your winner. Ox in third. Scuba comes home fourth with that penalty, ahead of Wesker who also had a penalty as well, as did Funky Chicken. P6 on debut for him. Adamako comes home in P7. A bit of a lonely race for him with Lynx in P8. After that opening lap off, CR7 recovered to P9, but what might have been for him, and Sway rounds out the top 10. Tom Deval coming home P11, Graham P12, AP P13. Evil Chris so unlucky that puncher on the final lap. 14th, and Lennon who had off half spin we saw, comes home in the final finisher in 15th. Chubbs, who was racking up the penalties, retired in P16.
Little mention for Lennon, still the fastest lap.
Indeed, yeah, Lennon get the fastest lap there. Went for it at the end there, so gets himself an extra point.
Come on, Lennon.
So clearly got the pace about him. Just the luck in the race didn't quite fall his way with that contact he had with Chubbs in the early part. And that then is the end of the action for tonight. But of course we are back tomorrow with Div 2 with myself and Max on track. How are you feeling about tomorrow, Max? I think you can't be any more prepared for tomorrow than...
No. I have to. I'm gonna reach 102. So I can tell you guys tonight I'm reaching 102. I feel it.
What you want a minute? You want a 103.0...
103.05.
05, so you've got half a tenth to find somewhere. So if anybody wants Max for the next 24 hours, he will be sat sweating this circuit. Copy that. So of course Div 2's action tomorrow. And then on Thursday and Friday we are back with our GT Sport Leagues, and the first of the endurance races for this season then it is the Red Bull Juniors at Sardegna. 30 laps. Tyre and fuel consumption is added for the first time this season then, so strategy will be playing a key part in how those races play out, so do join us for them. Those cars are a lot of fun to drive, so excited to get on track for them. Final thoughts for that one then. It was I think like Matt pointed out in the chat there, the two Dutch drivers there kind of in a league of their own in this one after the pit stops. Don't you agree, Max?
Sorry, I didn't. You fell away. I didn't hear nothing.
I said the two Dutch drivers there, kind of a bit of a league of their own tonight, weren't they? After the pit stops, they just opened that gap up, and I think with Kevin CR7 having that spin and Scuba obviously going a lap longer, I think that the undercut just propelled them clear really, and then it was just kind of a case of which one of them would win, and Tico held him off this time, so
exactly
advantage Tico.
Another league from these guys, well performed, always close, been in battle from start to finish, really nice to see. This is what Div 1 is about, it's very close drivers.
Indeed, yeah, it's a good drive from Ox there, first podium back in FTRL. I think he'll be happy with that one.
100%. I think Oxox had an amazing performance. Managed to stay behind Scuba all the time to get close and stay within those 3 seconds over covering the penalty. Really good new driver, Funky Chicken. Really nice. Congratulations to him for his first race.
Yeah,
Shows
P6
a lot
is
of potential.
not to be sniffed at all. And of course, well, it's round 3. I can't even think what count the other calendar is. Let's have a quick look. Where are we going next week? Before I forget. Scuba just posted in the chat there. I thought let's give the commentators a battle to look at. Much appreciated. Where are we? To look at that. Where is the calendar chat? Here it is. Next week we are at Silverstone as well, and so Silverstone is round. It is indeed home track, and it's a big driver favourite, that one. So I expect lots of good battles there. So then, that is the end of the coverage tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. If you haven't already liked the stream, please do so. And yeah, we will see you on track tomorrow. Please join Switchback as he gives us the overview of Div 2 as we tackle the Red Bull Ring as well. So from myself and from Max, thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you again next week.
Bye bye.